Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Person Behind the Pen. My name is Nick. I am the founder of Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House, and I am your host tonight. So, I would love to know how everyone in the audience is doing since we were here last week. What a turn of events in New York. It was freezing and miserable, and I'm sure that you have seen a number of my posts being very grumbly. I will say yesterday was absolutely gorgeous, and so is today. Love the sunlight, need the sunlight with my bipolarness. However, what a distraction from work. Our new chief of staffy, Nellie, wants to be outside more than she wants to be inside. I don't blame her, but of course, work must go on. So I want to say hello to everyone tuning in. Jason, my friend, hello there. If you don't know Jason Forehand, he is the founder of HR for You, and he is he spearheaded Transformation Kitchen project. I am an advisory board member and recently had the pleasure of working on the first inaugural Transformation Kitchen cookbook, along with Jason and two good friends, Derek Stroken and Sherry Ryan. This book is going to drop very soon and will be available in person at Jason's upcoming second annual Cooking Up Change event in Soho, New York City. I'll drop the link in the comments of the show, as I usually do. If you want to purchase a ticket to attend, we will be there. Or you can attend virtually as well. I want to say hello to Jackie. Hello, Jackie. If you don't know Jackie, Jackie is the host of Just Jacks, Monday nights at 9 p.m. She is one of the longest standing supporters of myself and Guiding Brilliant Writers. Welcome, Jackie. Stephen Eng, where are you? I know I just saw you. There you are. Stephen Eng, hi, and welcome. Stephen's a neighbor right out here in New York. I have adopted him as my little brother. And in the comments, I also see Mary Kay. Hello, how are you, Mary Kay? I want to say hi to everyone. So if you're popping in and I didn't mention you, I will catch you later in the show. Lynn Halbrooks. Oops, I'm sorry. Lynn, I see you out there. You were the first one in the comments. I want to say a big hello. Lynn is going to be an upcoming guest on The Person Behind the Pen as well. Meryl in Jersey. Oh my goodness. I hope the weather is as gorgeous over there next door as it is here. I mean, I'm ready for this. I don't know about you, but I'm really ready for this. Royce Blake, new face, and thank you so much for joining us today. Perhaps you're a friend of Russ's, and we appreciate you being here today. And of course, Leslie Flowers, my big sister. And I want to give a shout out to Aaron Gibson, my big brother. I'm not sure if he's here with us today. Aaron's been very busy. William Rochelle, hi, it's so great to see you. And I think I caught everyone. All right, so what a show we have lined up for you today. We have the incredible Russ Hedge with us. I've known Russ for a while, but before I dive in to introducing him to everyone, I do want to take a moment to thank all of you for being here every week. I do want to also share some wonderful news coming for Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House. We are now publishing on Ingram Spark. So we have gone worldwide distribution. We are no longer solely on Amazon KDP. And we are really ramping up our marketing team as well to go on a much larger global scale, including some book signings possibly coming up in Barnes & Nobles in the spring. Well, we are already here spring. And happening very shortly, Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House has also extended our services to include editorial magazine distribution. We are going to be launching second quarter with a brand new client and a new digital magazine for women. All right, so I think I shared enough. It's time for me to bring Russ up here. So let me start by introducing Russ. Russ is an inspirational speaker, international best-selling author, live streamer, podcaster, and live stream producer, marketing coach, and business consultant. He is a positive force in today's busy, hectic, and often negative business environment. He's a master connector, working in marketing and sales for over 30 years. He has been recognized as a top salesperson in multiple industries and for his skills in networking and connecting. Russ loves to encourage, inspire, and make people smile. That's why he is known as an inspirational specialist. He has been married to his beautiful wife Leah for over 38 years and has two adult children, Kyla and Connor, and a daughter in law, Gabby. His goal is to add value to people by encouraging and helping them live a more engaged and positive life. So, I am going to bring Russ up right now. We're probably going to run for 45 minutes, but we always have that hour if we run over. Welcome to the stage, Russ Hedge. Hello, my
Hey,
friend.
hey, Nick, how's it going?
Oh, it is going. It is going.
I want to tell you, I have such great memories right off the bat for first doing another project with you and meeting you now a few years ago, and then jumping on to, I think, your first project
The very first
when we did
project.
a note to my family. And oh my goodness, so many amazing people. I read this book and I went, wow, a lot's happened since then.
Right? I know. It's crazy when like having the show for me every week and bringing on the authors that have written, over all this time and seeing where they are now. And then so many share um, that they went back and read their chapter in preparation for the show. And like you say, it is such a walk down memory lane. But I think that it also, in the moment, makes you realize just how much you have achieved since then. And you don't always stop to think about it because you're always plugging into the next thing. So I think that is wonderful that this gives people that opportunity as well.
Well, and you are amazing. You have done
Thank
amazing
you.
things since this, and I'm just grateful to be your friend.
Oh my goodness, I am grateful for your friendship as well. So I don't know where you want to start. I know you're going to be reading your chapter for us today. And this was back when we first started, and I believe the chapters were about 1,500 words. So at about 250 words to page 300, it's relatively short because the chapters in the anthologies have gone up now to about 3,500 words. So I would say we certainly have enough time for you to read the entire chapter if you would like. Um, but why don't you go ahead and dig right into the reading? And then afterwards, I'll ask some questions. And everyone in the audience, if you have questions for us, please put them up there. And just to let you know, it would have been helpful if I had put the QR code up for you to buy the book. I'll make sure I drop the comments there as well. But just so you know, for today, and I'll run this special for a little bit. The ebook is now $2.99, not $4.99, and the paperback is now $7.99, not $9.99. So reduce the prices. I think through the rest of spring because we're having a lot of people come on now with the legacy book to read. So Russ, take it away.
Yeah, I'm going to jump right in, but I just want to tell everybody with the release of my latest book, I was out selling all my books at book signings. And you know what, Nick? I sold more of these at the book signing too.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it
So
was
yes,
fun.
we're gonna get there, and that QR code right above Russ. The reason why it's not a note to my family is because it's his book. Life happens. All right, so let's get started, guys, with the reading of A Note to My Family. I Am Your Legacy. This was the flagship book.
All right, here we go, everybody. I am going to read the best that I can for this afternoon. Here we go. My chapter is called A Note to My Family by Russ Hedge. So this was, I want to tell everybody one more thing before I start, and that is I was able, when we did this, to give this to all my family at Christmas because it was right before Christmas. So I had them in mind in my heart when I was writing this. So anyway, here we go. Dear family, there's so much that I want to tell you. This life is an incredible adventure filled with both challenges and triumphs. I found my purpose in encouraging and inspiring people, and I want each of you to live a purpose driven life of significance. I believe in your potential to be a difference maker, a world changer. You have been given the power to do amazing things, the amazing things that God created you to do. And the good news is you get to choose. Life is too short not to live with purpose. Find what sets your soul on fire and pursue it with determination. As a family, we are here to support each other, and together we can create a legacy of love, purpose, and positive change. It is my hope that by sharing what I'm currently going through, you'll be inspired to live your best life now. We are all different, and although we are family, I certainly don't pretend to know what you're going through. It may be rough or it may be amazing. Most of us get a little bit of both in this often messy life. I've been blessed with a positive perspective, a gift that isn't of my own making or strength. In moments of weakness and discouragement, God gives me the strength and ability to maintain this positive outlook. Let's face it, life does get messy sometimes. Life is a blessed mess, and we're all just trying to navigate through it. Unknown quote. Sometimes it's just hard to see the blessings because of life challenges. But remember, your current circumstances don't define you. Begin your navigation with a positive perspective, and things will always look better. A positive perspective is so important, and the realization we need help along the way. Psalm 118:14 says, "The Lord is my strength and my defense." God and community give us strength. We are stronger when we come together. We are truly better together. I have learned so many things on my messy journey, and here's just a few. The number one thing is trust God. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust the Lord with all your heart. Don't depend on your own understanding, but seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take." Are you in a spot in your journey where you don't know which path to take? I've been there. Trusting in the Lord is the foundation of my life. It's what has helped me to navigate some pretty tough times. I've been on a cancer journey for almost a year and a half. It began with what my beautiful wife, Leah, and I believe was a simple wart on the bottom of my instep of my right foot. 2 months later, I was diagnosed with stage 2A invasive melanoma and underwent surgery to remove the cancer and subsequent reconstruction. And I discovered and post-surgery that the cancer had spread to my lymph system in my groin, leading to an upgrade of stage 3C. That was the cancer stage. The road ahead involved 2 rounds of immunotherapy to combat the cancer's progression. Second round of immunotherapy, my body reacted violently and I had severe rash, fever, nausea, sickness, and more. My pancreas quit functioning and I was suddenly dealing with type 1 diabetes. Next, another surgery to remove more lymph nodes and another lengthy recovery. As time went on, I started having severe vertigo and digestive issues. The vertigo was debilitating and the digestive issues just are difficult. Through this whole journey, I was also having increased problems with my vision and hearing. After extensive testing, I'm slated for surgery on my right eye, still no resolution on my hearing. My body is in chaos, but in the middle of my circumstances, God keeps me strong and continues to give me hope and direction for my life. So many people have come around me with encouragement and support. So draw close to your family and friends through good times and bad. Challenging times are not a time to isolate yourself. Your community will become your lifeline when you really need it most. Family and community help us to navigate through the mess. And no matter what is happening in your life, the daily mess will come. God promised us, "I've told you all this so that you may have peace. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I've overcome the world." John 16:33. I love that. God is setting up realistic expectations, but letting us know he is there to give us peace and strength, even through it. Life is all about something so much bigger, and I'm so much more than my problems. You were created with a plan. Hold on to hope in life's journey. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, "Life is a journey, not a destination." Some of the journey is tough, but you can learn from each experience and grow into the best version of yourself. It's a choice only you can make, and it's totally up to you. Here are a few thoughts that will help you along your journey. First of all, choose to be thankful. Be thankful for life and what you have. Don't worry about what you're lacking. Live a life of abundance, not scarcity. Every morning, before I have coffee, before my feet hit the floor, I choose to be thankful, and you can too. It's not always easy, but it's a habit I've chosen. I write about this in my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. Each morning when I wake up, before I get out of bed, I tell myself three things. First, that I'm thankful for my beautiful wife, my family, and my life, and the day to come. Second, I tell myself, I've got this. I know with God's help, I can conquer the day. And third, I declare today is going to be an awesome day. These are choices I make and communicate to myself every morning, and it shapes my attitude and focus for the day ahead. How do you start your day? When you appreciate all that you have, life looks a lot brighter. Gratitude brings joy. Brene Brown says, there is no joy without gratitude. She goes on to say, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. You have to practice gratitude. Being thankful does not always come naturally, but you have to make a choice. I love this quote. It's not happy people who are thankful, but it's thankful people who are happy. Unknown quote. I want you to live a joy-filled life, a happy life. So next, I establish your why or your purpose. Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. John F. Kennedy. You were created for a purpose. You matter, and your life was designed uniquely for you. Some people find it difficult to define their purpose. I love what T.D. Jakes says. If you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion, for your passion will lead you right into your purpose. What are you passionate about? The things you are excited for each day will lead you to significance and success. Unfortunately, most of us live our lives by accident. Fulfillment comes when we live our lives on purpose. Knowing your why provides a filter through which we can make decisions every day to act with purpose. Your why is the one constant that will guide you towards fulfillment in your work and life. Simon Sinek. This is your purpose. This is your why and purpose, and it's so important. Next, connect and build community. Community is so important, and we all need support. Intentionally reach out, connect, and stay connected with family and friends. You may not have family close by, but God has provided amazing opportunities to connect with others that can become as close as family, and you need that. I love what Maya Angelou says. We need joy as we need air. We need love as we need water. We need each other as we need the earth we share. We need each other, absolutely. When we connect with others and build community, you can help others build up a significant life. And last of all, give and help others. It is the beginning of our significance that makes a real impact. Significance that lasts a lifetime is created by someone who invests in others. It is present and truly cares. By giving, you find success and significance. Eleanor Roosevelt said, for your own success to be real, it must contribute to the success of others. Giving to others is a key for significant success. This is an intentional process. So let's face it, every person has a longing to be significant, to make a contribution, to be part of something noble and purposeful. John C. Maxwell. So today, take a step that direction by positively and significantly adding value to others. Be a world changer in someone's life. It starts by caring, being present, and taking positive action. Start small. Maybe a smile or a kind word is really that simple. Be thankful, know your purpose or your why, connect and build community, and give and be helpful and enjoy your life. I like what Frank Sinatra says. I would like to be remembered as a man who had a wonderful time living life. Blessings, Russ. And the last thing I said there was, I want to be remembered as somebody who lived joyfully, who made a positive impact on the lives of others. And it is my hope and prayer that this will impact you all so you can choose to live your best life now.
You know, I don't have to tell you I love the story because I read it before more than once. And for me, my takeaway in hearing it again is living your why is what brings you fulfillment. We all have to define what happiness is to us. But I do not believe that God put us on this earth to not be happy. And He certainly gave us the tools that we need to determine what that happiness is and how to
Right.
go about achieving it. Gratitude
Right.
is, for
Yep.
me, been the
I
biggest driver in my life these past few years and for where this company is today.
Yeah. Well, I want to tell you that I agree. I think there's, we happiness definitely somewhat is dependent on our circumstances, but we can all have joy. I believe that the joy of the Lord is there for us all the time. So we can all have joy and we can all choose a good perspective. And, my latest book, I talk about it a lot in this chapter, but my latest book is all about choosing perspective in the midst of challenges. And I talk about my cancer journey again, because this was right smack dab in the middle of my cancer journey. Because then 10 months later, I was diagnosed stage 4 cancer. It had gone to my lungs and my brain. And so at this point, it was even rougher, had to go through therapy again, also had more things shutting down on my body, more organs. And ended up back in the hospital. So it was in the middle of everything happening to me, but I had already decided to keep a good perspective, knowing that it's going to get better. It's going to get better with time. And my dad used to always say, Nick, tomorrow is a new day. And what he meant by that, if I was having a really crummy day, he's like, just go to bed, wake up, you'll have a fresh perspective. It's a new day and things will look a whole lot better. So that perspective changes all that we do and everything.
I love it. Um, this was not until a couple years ago someone said this to me, and it stuck with me. Every night when we go to sleep, we die, and every morning when we wake up, we are reborn. It doesn't mean that we don't come with everything else that has happened before, but it is a rebirth. Spring is around the corner. Rebirth is not only at that time. We can choose to be reborn at any point in our lives. I want to put this comment up here by Kenneth Dunner. It I'm so sorry. It reinforces many of the comments that are coming up here. So I know at the end of
Wow.
the show, you will go back and take a look at them. People have really and truly enjoyed the reading. And
Hi, Kenny. Thank you.
I thank you all for being here. So what I've done is the QR code for a note to my family, I Am Your Legacy, is now up. You can scan that. I'm going to give a couple of minutes because then I'm going to run that short video that played in the beginning, because I'd like to ask Russ a couple of questions. And keep your phone out after scanning the QR code for this one, because at the end of that video, you will be able to scan the QR code to get Russ's best-selling book, Life Happens, and then you choose. All right, so let's run that for a second, shall we? So I would like to start by asking, who are those lovely people in those pictures with you? I assume that's your family, a very attractive family.
I am so blessed. I have the most amazing wife that God gave me over 38 years ago. We've actually known each other over 39 years now. We were engaged rather quickly, but we were engaged for a year. So we'd be, our parents wouldn't think we were crazy. And we ended up getting married a year later, Christmas time. And we had 2 amazing children. And our amazing children, our daughter is our oldest. My little princess is 35 and my little buddy is 32. So they've grown up. My son is married. So I have an amazing daughter-in-law, Gabby, who is in that last picture. She might have been in a couple of them. And so anyway, she's amazing. So I just so blessed. I still have a sister and her family. My parents are both gone, and you can read about that in Life Happens and Then You Choose. But they're both in heaven. But yeah, I'm just so blessed. I have such amazing family that supports me so much.
Wonderful. So the QR code up there now is for Life Happens and Then You Choose. I encourage you to support Russ and his family. And the reason I wanted to show that video first and probably have him read first is because there's something that you shared with me backstage. Um, and you went all the way from discovering something small under your foot to learning you were stage 2, which developed into stage 3, which developed into stage 4. And where are you on your cancer journey now?
Well, praise God, as of October last year, right after, well, actually, I guess it was November last year, trying to remember because I got the results back right after I had published the book, that there's no sign of disease, no cancer. And I've had subsequent scans this last January that were the same, no sign of disease. And that is such a blessing. Yes. I am so, so thankful because even though I still go through challenges, all the things from the cancer treatment, I can learn to live with those. And cancer, you can't learn to live with. So I'm so just thankful that that is gone.
I am thrilled for you. I know that everyone else here is. You have such an incredible story. You are one heck of an inspirational speaker. And where you've come from when that chapter was written to now, and this book that you have written, you have lived it. You have
Oh my
lived it,
goodness.
and you have every bit of credibility to put behind you when you say life happens and then you choose, because that is exactly what occurred. So I want to ask a couple questions. I love for the audience to get to just know you a little bit better. So my
Yep.
first question to you is, in what order did things play out? Like, you're a writer, you're a podcaster, you're a speaker. Like, what came first? Because I think at one time, wasn't there radio involved as well? Or did
Oh
I?
yeah. Yeah, there's that too. Chicken and the egg, right? What came first? Well, first of all, I would like to say it all started with Nick. She inspired me, and off I went. But I that did happen. That happened kind of partway through my journey. I've been in sales and marketing my whole life, so I was a sales and marketing manager for some corporations, and then COVID hit. When COVID hit, I had worked with and talked to my good friend D. Scott Smith, who's one of my co-hosts of a couple of my shows. Scott had encouraged me to start thinking about marketing, coaching, speaking, live streaming, or at that point it was podcasting, and maybe writing a book. And I was like, whoa, hold on here.
Here's
I'm
everything.
working.
Take it.
I know I'm working 12 hours a day here trying to be a marketing manager, a sales and marketing manager, and I can't do that. But anyway, I started it out. I learned how to use Zoom when I didn't have any idea the month before COVID hit. So COVID hits, and suddenly I decide, you know what? Maybe I'm going to look at this business. And my beautiful wife said, honey, if you're going to do it, now's the time because the world has stopped. If you think God is moving you this direction, now's your time. So your
Yeah.
answer your question. First, I really thought I was going to do marketing coaching. I thought that was going to be my main thing. I thought
Mm.
I'm going to get out there, teach people how to sell and market. That's going to be my main thing. So I started doing that, but then I started speaking online. Then I started podcasting. I really enjoyed the podcasting. So that started to develop. And so as that developed, it became live streaming. And then and right off the bat, I monetized it immediately so that I could keep doing it because and I
Mm-hmm.
thought, this is so much fun. But if I don't make money to pay for this stuff, I don't have time to do it.
That's
So I
right.
was able to do that, hired my amazing teammate, Ever, she is just been with me since almost the beginning. She's amazing and she does so much for me. And so anyway, was able to blossom and started speaking more. But then through the whole cancer journey, I wrote the first book within 5 months of COVID because Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose was on my heart, but I didn't have time to write it until COVID happened. So I wrote that book. Then I was blessed to do a few, actually 4 anthologies. And this one was the second one in that group. And so I was able to learn how to write. But during that time, I was having the cancer issues. So I was going through this journey and I wasn't able to get to my last book until just this last year. And then I was blessed to be able to put that together. I really felt God pushing me to do that because it had a great message. Because for everybody out there, life happens and then you choose every day of your life, every day of your life. So so it kind of went, Nick, the marketing coaching, then doing some speaking, then podcasting, then writing, but it's all flipped because now I focus on the speaking and the podcasting, live streaming mostly. And I do a little bit of the others, but I like to do the writing too. That's become a little bit more. I've actually got 3 more anthologies in line. I've written the next one and I have 2 more happening. So yeah, so I've been busy.
Yes, you have, and I like Meryl's comment because it's right like along the lines of what you said. I was thinking the same thing, chicken or the egg. So you guys heard Russ's journey. Most of you know mine. I fell into writing and then ended up publishing, and somewhere along the way in between podcasting, and so I haven't gone into the speaking yet. I said that I would like to head there. I'm not really sure what's up next for me, honestly, at this moment. So I'm curious because a lot of people in the audience do similar things, not all of them, but I'm curious to know you in the audience. How did you start? In which order did things occur for you? Were you a podcaster first and then ended up writing a book and then ended up, and which of the 4 are you missing? Do you want to tackle that? And if so, how can Guide and Brilliant Writers get you through that next step? So we'd really love to hear that. Russ, let's get to the next question. What was the biggest challenge you faced as an author?
Well, the biggest challenge I thought was just really seeing myself as an author. I mean, when Scott brought up to me about writing a book, I'm like, what? I mean, it was not anywhere on my radar. I mean, if your radar is floating here and you're thinking about things, it was on the other side of the world. I mean, I had zero plans to write a book. So when he mentioned that to me, that's when all of a sudden, because he was very encouraging to me and said, hey, everybody's got a book in them. You can do it. You can write a book. You've got so much to tell. And I'm like, and this is before my cancer journey. So, I mean, it was just like, okay, well, all right, maybe I do have stuff to tell. And I did have, because in my latest book, and Befuddled had a little bit of this in the first book, I had a near life-ending car accident at age 19. Also, both my parents, I was going through at that time, they were aging and we were having to deal with that at that time. In this book, I deal with both of them with lung cancer, dementia, and Alzheimer's. So that whole journey. And then on top of it, Mama passes away on Dad's birthday in July. And then I'm diagnosed with I find that wart that ends up being cancer like a week after that. So, or at least within a couple of weeks after that. So it all happened.
Life really happened to you, didn't it?
Yeah. And it's funny, Nick, because my car accident when I was 19, what happened on July 9th. My dad passed away on July 30th. My mama passed away on July 18th. I found the wart on my foot that became cancer in July. And so I wrote an article once on skipping July. I think maybe I'll just skip that month. It seems like all these things seem to happen at that time.
I do not mean to laugh because it's not funny, but the first volume of We Choose to Be More Than Our Diagnoses published on July 1st last year. So how very fitting in a sense, because here you are, in fact, choosing to be more than your diagnoses, and now the diagnosis is gone. Just amazing. You're just an incredible story. I mean, again, I have to thank everyone in the audience. You guys are just incredible. The support, the outpouring of love here, and just this, you cannot mistake the respect that moves around the room. We feel it, right? Just in what's going on right here in this moment. And respect to me is acknowledgement. All right, so let's ask the next question. I still have not seen the chicken and the egg answers in there. I'm just saying. All right. Well, here we go. What advice would you give an aspiring author?
Okay, so I need you to say that one more time. That's my hearing.
What advice would you give to an aspiring author?
Okay. I would really borrow my good friend D. Scott Smith's advice, and that is everybody's got a story in them. But I would say all you need to do is just start, because that's the biggest thing that we all run into, is just starting with the book. And then the other piece of advice I got from my favorite journalism professor and other authors, and that was, when you write, don't edit yourself, don't read every paragraph and go back and crumple it up and throw it away, because you'll continually do that. So just write, 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 write. If you like to write with a pen, write with a pen. If you like, I write on the computer. If you like to write, type it on the computer, write on the computer, whatever it is, but write 75, 80, 90% of your book before you ever read it.
Yes.
Because what ends up happening is then you go back. Sure, there's things you change, but then you think, well, this may not fit here, but I could use part of this over here. This really isn't that bad. I'll make a few changes because I really like where I went with this story. And it all seems a whole lot better than going back every paragraph and ripping it up and throwing it away.
Oh gosh, most certainly. And I love the advice that you gave. I personally was started my journey actually with what I call vomit writing, everything just down, whether it's on screen, on paper, whatever. Don't think about anything, forget grammar, forget everything else, put it down, come back later. You would realize it's so much better than you thought, because you always walk away thinking, oh my God, that was horrible. And, that's when you go through it again, like you said, you start to rearrange things. And one of the, favorite quotes that I picked up recently, and it really, it speaks so much to what I want Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House to be, because 75% of the people we work with are new writers. I'm reading it right now off of my profiles on Blind. So our tagline is, you write it, we will take care of the rest. However, your story doesn't need to be perfect to be powerful. It just needs to be finished. Someone is waiting for the right words, only you can write. So if you don't start, you can't finish. And there's always somebody there to help you do that. So thank you for sharing. I love how engaged the audience is, and Stephen is absolutely right. I always tell people, even if you're self-publishing, don't skip the steps. Yes, there is a bit of cost involved, but most people waited a very long time to put this book out. It took a very long time to do it. Don't cheat yourself at the end. Okay, do what you need to do to get that book out spot on, and that most definitely means professional editing. All right, so 2 more quick questions. I think we have time. I don't even want to ask you, do you have a favorite quote? You dropped so many quotes already, to be honest, in your book. But do you have a favorite quote you would like to share with us?
Well, I have so many, but you know what? I'm going to give you two of my favorite quotes. First one's by Chuck Swindoll, and that is, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it, because this is all boils back down to perspective. The way you're looking at things, the way you're reacting to things, that's really what determines where you go. And the other quote is by Chip Ingram, and he wrote this amazing book. And in there was this thing called the divine equation. And this is in my book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. And that is, your circumstances plus your perspective equals your experience. So C plus P equals E. Circumstances plus perspective equals your experience. So basically, it's living above your circumstances occurs when your perspective interprets your circumstances, rather than your circumstances determine your perspective. And I'm telling you, that is so, so important, because when you're letting your circumstances drive what's happening in your life and how you're looking at it, you're always going to be on this gigantic roller coaster. But when you're choosing to let your perspective interpret those in a positive way, your experience in life is going to be so much better. And that's what I always tell people.
I agree. There comes a point in all of our lives where we say, you know what? I'm not going to be the passenger anymore. I'm just not. It's time for me to drive this. This is my life. So thank you so much for those quotes. And I'll share two of my favorite, which is the one that I started with. Attitude, not aptitude, determines your altitude. And I have started with that one by Zig Ziglar because that's where I started. And my attitude is what's gotten me this far. Aptitude, you will learn, you will get that along the way. But now, my favorite one, and I hope I don't misquote this. Um, a reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The one that doesn't lives only one. And that was I don't know if I say it correctly, but that was by George R. Martin, and I just love that quote. Um, you can live vicariously through all these stories. We learned so much from you today, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to be here. Look at this, right? Why didn't we receive this kind of math in high school? I could not agree more. We needed Professor Russ. So, Russ, what's up next for you? Um,
Well, I'll tell you what I'm really focusing on. One thing through my journey is I've had to learn how to manage my energy. And you and I have talked about this. I have a lot of energy in the morning. In the afternoon, I'm normally sleeping. To do this in the afternoon, I had a nice cup of coffee to help me out. Um, but all that to be said, I've been more thoughtful and even more intentional about what I choose to do. So, number one is I love to speak to people, it just fires me up. So, I love to speak in front of groups, whether in real life or on online. I love really to do it in person the most. But second of all, I'm going to continue. I do 6 live streams a week. I'm going to continue to do that and to write. Those are the things that I really love doing. Now, I'm still available to do marketing coaching. I'm still available to help people with their business and sales. I can still help you with that, but those are down the line. So I'm not going to ever do a lot of that. I'm going to
yes.
really stick to the other things that I'm doing. I really, really enjoy that. And if you want to learn a little bit more about me, I think that QR code is still for Life Happens and Then You Choose. So
Mm-hmm.
first, you should buy a copy of this from Nick about with all of us because that helped me get going. But then when you get a chance, if you want to learn more about me, go to buy this book because it's the most recent things happening to me, and you'll get a good feel for where I'm going through that book. But yeah, Nick, I'm just happy to be blessed with friends like you, people that I have really community that's just really inspired me.
Wonderful. So you will always be a part of the Guardian Brilliant Writers Publishing House family, and you are welcome back on the show anytime. I am sure that perhaps next we would love to hear you read from Befuddled. So, Russ, thank you. With that, I'm going to bring you backstage, and I will see you there in just a few moments.
Okay, doke. Thanks, everybody.
I can't thank everyone enough for being here tonight, staying, being so engaged. And I do encourage you, like Russ said, go get a copy of this book. This was the flagship book. This was never intended to be a series, but the following year, the end of 2024, people did ask if this book was being done again. And so, dubbed by my big brother Aaron Gibson, this is now the Legacy Chronicles. We just published the third at the end of the year in 2025. So, we've now had well over 50 legacies left. And you might know some familiar faces in this one. Willie J is actually in this first book, and Christine Lynn Jones, as well as Kristen Lynn Norai, um, Timothy Gleason, Paula Neff. So there are quite a few people you know around the circuit, and you could read their legacies in here. Please scan that QR code up top, get a copy of Life Happens and Then You Choose, and then reach out to Russ and tell him how awesome he was for choosing what he chose to do. Uh, Alrighty, I think the last thing I want to share is what's coming up for the next week. Next week, Tuesday, we are going to have Rebecca Strobel on. Rebecca wrote this beautiful book here, and a New Day Inspirations, poetry book. And Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House is now also offering the opportunity for authors not published with us to come on and we can do a very special program here for you. Please reach out to me if you would like the details for that, the requirements, and to set up a beverage chat. It doesn't have to be coffee. I drink enough for the entire world. Um, Virtual Wellness Summit. That's the 2350 network. Oh my goodness. I've been part of this network going on 2 years now. I absolutely love it. They are incredibly supportive. Getting Brilliant Writers is getting a ticket for someone. This is your opportunity because this 2-day summit starts in about 2 weeks. You must send me a DM saying 2350 Virtual Wellness Summit ticket or something to that effect. I will keep this open until next week. Tuesday on The Person Behind the Pen, we will do a live raffle drawing. Somebody's going to get a ticket to that event. Compliments of Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House. Did I get everything? No, I did not. Last but not least, we are also proud to say that we are the show sponsor for Think and Grow Rich every Friday at 11 a.m. with none other than our host, Leslie Flowers. Please join us on Fridays at 11 a.m. You are going to love Think and Grow Rich. It is the way I end my week, and the way I start my week is with Mind Over Matter Mondays with the same incredible woman. Okay, so that said, we're going to wrap up. We're a couple of minutes over. Wonderful to have everyone here. Please come back again. Blessings all around for everyone. Thank you for blessing Guiding Brilliant Writers to now be publishing global distribution with Ingram Spark, and to be stepping into the glamorous world of editorial magazine publishing. Thank you and have a wonderful week.